On our campus, you may send and receive mail. Mail includes letters, packages, and other shipped items. No, not all mail travels on ships. Sometimes we use cars, trucks, or even horses. So, how do you receive mail? You visit your campus mail center. The South Campus Mail Center serves Magnolia, Juniper, and Poplar residents. The North Campus Mail Center is located in Holly H and serves all other residents. Simply visit the mail center, identify yourself, and our team will retrieve your mail. If you prefer to receive a notification when packages arrive, please visit the housing portal, select Profile Information, then Again. You will see the text message option at the bottom of the screen. If you wish to send mail, please visit the USF Post Office, located northwest of the Marshall Student Center. Your friends and family may want to send you packages. Help them by directing them to usf.edu/housing, residential experience, resident services, then mail service. There is an address lookup tool on this page that shows them how to format your mailing address. Now, you should receive many packages while you are living the Bulls life.
Laundry is a collection of soiled clothing that you once wore. Depending on your personal definition of cleanliness, you'll discover laundry in a hamper, on your bed, the floor, or on your roommate. We don't recommend placing laundry on your roommate. However, personal preferences should direct your behavior toward one another. If you would like to wear clean clothes, we recommend either purchasing new clothes on a weekly basis or cleaning your clothes. This is commonly called doing your laundry. It costs $1.25 to wash and $1.25 to dry. There is a laundry facility located on the first floor of your building or right outside. You may use quarters at most facilities. Quarters are metallic currency that are worth 25% of $1. 5 of these quarters will allow you to initiate a wash or a dry cycle. If you cannot acquire or do not prefer to use quarters, you may use bullbucks, which is money you have loaded onto your USF ID card. That is not how you do that. Visit usf.edu/bullbucks and follow the links to put money on your card. Remember to read the instructions in your laundry room that will help you successfully clean your clothes. Once your clothes are clean, you may wear them. If you have succeeded, others will compliment your appearance and odor. Doing your laundry will help you have a great time living the Bulls life.
Jessica Barron, Sierra Rose, Elisa Goldberg, Max Morinelli, Kayla Williams, Matt Satchwell, Burley Gomez, Jennifer Drewbear, Taylor Finke, Stephanie Chalkman, Jeremy Lamberti. Wednesday, June 5th, 2019. Coming to you from the beautiful University of South Florida campus in Tampa, it's USF Housing Live.
Good evening, everyone. This is USF Housing Live. I'm your host, Jessica Barron, with Housing and Residential Education at the beautiful University of South Florida in Tampa. Our motto, best place to live, best place to work, best place to learn. Tonight's episode is Pick a Major, Any Major. A reminder to everyone joining us live that we're here to answer your questions so you're ready to live the Bulls life. If you have a question, no matter where or how you're watching, just type it in the comments and we'll answer you in real time. Well, let's go ahead and meet tonight's guests. Joining us from the College of Undergraduate Studies is a very special guest. He serves as the Exploratory Curriculum Major Advisor and helps students make informed decisions regarding academics, careers, and majors. Let's welcome to the show, Shane Combs.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, Shane. Our first guest tonight is from Residential Education and serves as the coordinator of academic initiatives. She joined the residential education team in 2017 after receiving her master's degree in student affairs administration and her bachelor's degree in public relations with a minor in marketing. Let's welcome to the show, Brandy Cruz.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, Brandy. So please tell us who you are and what you do here at USF.
So my name's Brandy Cruz, and I'm a coordinator for academic initiatives here within residential education. So my role consists of working with our 14 living and learning communities, as well as our faculty engagement in the halls through our faculty in residence program and our faculty fellows program. On top of that, we also have some of our large-scale programming that we'll get to talk about a little later.
Brandy, it sounds like you have a big hat that you wear here at USF with a lot of different jobs, right?
Yes, and I love it. I look good in it too.
Brandy, tell me, what academic initiatives will be happening in the fall?
Yes, so in the fall, we're going to have 3 big academic initiatives. The first one's going to be house calls, and that's going to be on September 11th. At that event, faculty and staff get to engage with students in their residence hall, and students get to ask them questions in regards to study abroad, any sort of academic transition, academic advising, study skills, etc. Our next one's going to be our out-of-state student social in October, and so we haven't picked a date for that yet, but when we pick it, you'll be sure to know about it. And then we also have our finals reviews, which happens the week before finals, and those are just some review sessions that our faculty hold in the Marshall Student Center.
Sounds like you have a lot of interesting events coming up soon for students to take note of, so make sure you guys write it down in their agenda, right?
Yes.
Brandy, who is a faculty in residence, and how do they help serve students?
Yeah, so a faculty in residence is a full-time faculty member that lives in the residence halls. We currently have 6 that live on campus. Horizon Hall, Summit Hall, Maple Hall, Beta Hall, Juniper Poplar, and Magnolia Apartments are where all of our faculty in residence reside. So they get to engage with students in the hall through organic conversations, but also having different events like cooking in the Summit Hall kitchen and making homemade croissants and pancakes, or working with students on careers in engineering, and also working with our dining services to create a cooking demonstration in Argos Exchange.
Well, Brandy, it sounds like you guys have it figured out, because food is always the best way to get students to come out to any event, I think.
And our faculty members love it too.
Brandy, what do you think is the best thing that comes out of faculty in residence? You know, the connection with the students, what comes out of that?
So I think the best thing for faculty in residence is it bridges the gap between our faculty in residence and students. So a lot of times our students are very shy about meeting with their faculty in their office hours, and so this really takes the faculty member outside of the classroom and really shows that they're just an everyday person just like us.
Awesome. Brandy, what are some of the most needed academic resources available to our incoming first-year students?
I think one of the most needed academic resources is your academic advisor. So your academic advisor is going to be able to help you make that plan to graduate on time, but also if you're struggling in your major and maybe you need to know what classes to take, they are going to be the ones to be able to help you. So definitely see them sooner than the end of the semester when you need to register for classes.
That's important for students to know, because sometimes, you know, we forget dates and we might push things to the last minute, so definitely not to wait too long, right?
Yes, and our advisors are hot commodities, so make sure that you set that appointment early.
Brandy, we want each and every student to be successful in their first semester. What tips do you have to ensure that happens?
I would say time management is a big one. I think we are all still learning our time management. I know I am still learning time management as I adult through life. But coming to college is very different from being in high school. In high school, you are in classes for 7 hours, and then you go home, you get to kind of do whatever you want. In college, you might take a course for an hour and 15 minutes, have a 3-hour break, and then take another course for an hour and 15 minutes. And so making sure that you are utilizing that time wisely through studying, making sure that if you want to work out and maintain your wellness, going to the gym, but also making sure that you're getting enough sleep at night and getting at least 8 hours so you feel rested and ready to go the next day.
Yeah, and Brandy, you brought up a good point. I think time management is not one of those things that once you figure out once, it's set forever. It's one of those things that's constantly evolving, especially with each semester, sometimes each month, depending on what exams you have going on, right?
Yes, you honestly have to teach yourself time management every single time you get a new job, right? Because your responsibilities change, but also anytime that anything changes in your life.
And do you have any tips regarding time management? Like if students are maybe a little overwhelmed, it's their first time without their mom nagging them to, you know, do their laundry, study for exams?
Yeah, so I am 26 and I still call my mom every day because I need her. And so, you know, making sure that you're finding what you need and communicating what you need. Utilizing your RA if you are feeling overwhelmed as a resource so they can support you. But also utilizing your friend group, going out and exploring Tampa, really taking that me time, you know, sometimes you got to get your nose out of a book and you need to explore what is around you. So maybe attending a USF football game or something that's happening on campus, just to really take your mind out of it, kind of unwind, and then get back into it.
Great tips, Brandy. How do living learning communities help contribute to academic success?
So our living learning communities offer students a place to live with like-minded individuals who may be taking the same major or have the similar interests as they do. So with our living learning communities, there is an academic partner that supports each living learning community that offers in-hall academic advising, as well as engaging with faculty through programming, and also helping students realize the skills that they're learning today and the classes that they're taking can be applied to their future career goals.
Brandy, LLCs are very popular here at USF, and time is definitely flying fast. We're already in June. If a student is interested in applying for an LLC, how much time do they actually have?
So time is ticking. Our applications are actually due next Friday, June 14th. So if you are interested in getting involved in a living learning community, please, please, please apply today so we can go ahead and get you assigned to a space. If you have any additional questions about a living learning community, please feel free to email us at livinglearning@usf.edu.
Brandy, it's been a pleasure talking to you today, and I hope to have you on the show soon.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Now it's time for us to take a short break, but don't go anywhere. This video is about final exam review sessions, so you don't want to miss it. We'll be back with more USF Housing Live right after this.
So final reviews take place at the end of every fall and spring semester, the week before final exams. And we invite professors or faculty members to come to the Marshall Student Center and give a last exam review before their final exam. Students can interact with their professors, maybe they haven't gotten a chance to do so earlier on in the semester, or they can maybe see some things that they didn't know were going to be on the final exam, get some last minute help or even some insight as to what they can expect.
I'm Kimberly Fields and I teach organic chemistry in the chemistry department here. We take each chapter by about 15 minutes a block and we just power through the top topics in each chapter, and I sort of explain the highlights and why they're important one more time.
So for the stress of final exam week, I think there's a lot of different resources on campus. Pause and relax. They brought dogs and llamas for students to come pet and play with to kind of relieve some of that anxiety or stress. I would say within the residence halls, a lot of the RAs will plan study events for their residents. So I think students should attend a final review session because any extra opportunity to help you practice for an exam is a good thing.
Ace those final exams.
Welcome back, everyone. This is USF Housing Live. I'm Jessica Barron, you're not, and it's time to chat with Shane Combs from the College of Undergraduate Studies. Shane, tell us who you are and what you do here at USF.
Yes, so my name is Shane Combs. I'm also a proud Bulls alumni. I'm the exploratory advisor here. So I help freshmen find their best fit major and assist them in starting to develop their career paths. I'm also an instructor for SLS 2901 Academic Foundations You Decide, which is a customized version of the classic Academic Foundations class just for our exploratory students that helps them find their major.
Shane, it sounds like you have a very heavy job regarding students trying to figure out what they want to do here at USF, right? What do you love about the job?
Yeah, so I mean, it's something that is very important to students and their families, and there can be a lot of pressure associated with it. But for myself, I just am really passionate about seeing them freshman year where they're so concerned and unsure, and then even a year later or that senior year where sometimes I work on projects with my former students. So that growth from freshman year to senior year is the best part of our job.
Shane, then let's go into some of the questions I have for you.
Okay.
When do incoming students get to pick their classes?
Oh yes, the hot question, right? So students cannot customize their schedule until they come to orientation. At orientation, we'll teach you how to use our registration software, tell you what classes you should be targeting for year one, and then we will give you a little time to work on your schedule. But one thing I want all students and family to know is that orientation is the beginning of registration, not the finale. Most students will leave orientation not with the schedule that they end up starting fall with. But the great news is you get to go home in the comfort of your own house with your friends and family. You can customize your schedule all the way up until the 5th day of every semester.
Shane, do incoming students have to know what they plan to major in?
Yeah, and there's a lot of factors that go into that. It's a very individual question. And we really pride ourselves at the USF Exploratory Program and really customizing all of our students' first year experience towards their goals, their needs, and their personality. But we can talk in some generality. So the policy at USF is every student should declare their major around 36 college credits. This represents about 1 year of schooling at USF. However, we have students that are coming in from high school with their AA degree, right? That's 60 college credits through things like AP, IB, and dual enrollment. These students couldn't officially be in our exploratory freshman program. But we also know, nationally, 80% of all college students will change their major at least once, and here at USF, 1/3 of all our freshmen will change their major during year one. So my point is, regardless of your status, whether you're declared or exploratory, a student should invest very early on in figuring out the expectations and outcomes associated with their major, and that's something that someone like me will help them do.
I'm sure that gives students that are watching a lot of reassurance, because I'm sure some of them are stressed out or they have parents saying, you should know what your major is by now, but I'm sure it sounds like what you're saying, it's pretty normal, right?
Yeah, it's very normal for, some students do know. They know right away. Some students have no clue. But the vast majority of my students from this new generation coming in are what we call multiple skills, multiple interests, right? They're leaving high school with more knowledge, more passions, more experience than any before them, and it makes it difficult for them to pick one major because they don't understand that it's your major, your minor, your student orgs, your volunteers, your internships. You're going to be a holistic person here, and through all those things you can combine to make a pretty unique path for yourself.
Shane, so for any students who are probably undecided, what advice would you give them?
Yeah, so some of the classic technical strategies are find a faculty mentor, connect to an older student through like a student org, interact with our career services to interact with employers. But as Brandy said earlier, one of the things that we see most important is time management. So let's think about how much time it takes to do well here academically at USF, which is a preeminent research university. And then on top of that, you may be working, you have family obligations. We do want you to have fun, right? That's part of college. And then of course, please do eat and sleep properly, right? So what we saw a few years ago was our students were getting through year one, having high GPAs, loving their time at USF, but weren't any further in that major career exploration. So we developed that special class, SLS 2901, You Decide, that really inlays into a student's first fall semester some time set aside. It's a 3-credit class. We meet twice a week. And it just kind of makes it easier on that student to have time in their academic schedule to do that kind of major and career exploration they need.
Shane, so how often should students visit their academic advisor? What do you recommend?
Yeah, so as Brandy also said earlier, the answer is early and often. So some things I think students and families should know is, one, most staff members, including advisors, we work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Right? We're also serving a population of 55,000 total students. So when you're thinking about that classic one-on-one advisor, sit down, talk about next semester's classes, talk about your academic and professional goals, a student can expect about a 1 to 3 week lead time when they want to make an appointment with an advisor. But I do want everyone to know if you need immediate assistance, there are so many ways to get involved. Yes, call or email your advisor, but there are so many people at USF that are passionate about helping you. So you can talk to your professors, someone in your resident hall, and of course we do have services like Counseling Center, Victim Advocacy, SOCAT, which a lot of them do offer 24/7 services if you need help immediately.
Shane, and I'm sure you can agree with what I'm about to say. The academic advisors, their schedules fill up pretty fast, right? A lot of students are trying to meet with them, so it's important for them to try to schedule something early on, right?
Yeah, so like I said, it's a pure numbers game, right? We have so many wonderful students here, and we try to make time for everyone, but I will give you a hot piece of advice. Make that advising appointment before midterms. And I know it's tough, right? Because you spend so much time with your academics that it does slip your mind. But make a nice little Siri reminder on your phone, an Alexa reminder, and just try to see them before midterms.
Great tip, Shane. What resources can students utilize to ensure their academic success here at USF? USF, including your offices, have a lot to offer, right?
Yeah, and so, what I love about USF is there are probably 100 resources that a student can use to either find or confirm their major. So I'm going to just narrow it down to my top 3 right now. So New Student Connections, also called NSC. They're how you get connected socially here at USF. They also can pair you with a senior student pal mentor. Right? What a great concept to have an older student walk you through those ups and downs of the first year. We also have the Department of Undergraduate Research. What's so great about this department is you can go on campus day one and get involved. So we do know internships are an amazing experience, but they're hard to get. They're normally only during summers, and it takes a lot of time and effort to apply and interview. But you can go day one to the undergraduate research department and kind of get an experience with an academic or professional field of interest. And of course, finally, a big shout out to all my people over in Buildable Financial Education. And they'll help a student understand the tricky world of college finances in 2019. They're also run by senior students. So again, these older students can teach you all the strategies and tricks they've learned along the way.
Shane, I've also heard that Buildable, if you use their resources, you sign up and you go to one of their lessons, that you're entered into possible scholarship opportunities. Is that correct?
Yeah, so what's great about a lot of the resources here, they help you anyways, but we had this added benefit, another department like Global Citizens Project that can give you a study abroad scholarship. So reach out to your advisor. We can help you find out what the resource is, what they offer, and how to get engaged, because I don't think a lot of students know about those extras like the scholarships that are available.
We have a question from a viewer who's watching.
Okay.
His name is Omar, and he asks if this can be for either you or Brandy who can answer. He asks, how can I meet with faculty from my major when I tour USF? If they're trying to meet up with maybe an advisor or somebody beforehand, before they start classes, what would you recommend they do?
I can take this if you don't mind. So I'll be honest, meeting a faculty advisor on an entry tour probably is not likely. The tours here are going to be very, pre-planned. Now, you could reach out to somebody like myself, but really faculty connection is going to come once you are oriented. So I know that kind of stinks that you can't really get engaged with them right away, but once you're here, there's a lot of opportunities. Ask your advisor, student orgs, that Department of Undergraduate Research that I told you about, that's kind of their specialty, is getting connected with faculty. So you will probably have to wait till you get oriented, but you can reach out to me anytime, and I can kind of help field some of those questions and get that ball rolling. Literally, one of the biggest parts of my job is connecting a student to a faculty member in an area they're interested in.
Wonderful. Thank you, Shane. Brandy, did you have anything that you wanted to add?
No, I think you really definitely explained that perfectly. I think maybe the only time that you might see a faculty member, sometimes our faculty members will come out to Bulls Unite Day to talk about living learning communities, and so sometimes you might engage with them there. Other than that, they are probably teaching classes during the times of our tours, so they are very busy individuals.
But once they get back and once classes start, I'm sure that they'll get all the opportunities they want to meet with the faculty, right?
Yes, we start that at the very beginning.
Awesome. So, Shane, let me ask you the last question for tonight. What is the Academic Foundations class, and why should students take it?
Yeah, so SLS 2901 Academic Foundations is a class we offer to freshmen here. Now, there are many different versions. There are some for exploratory students. There may be versions for certain majors or certain populations like athletes or international students. But there is a version that every freshman can take. And so please talk to your advisor either before or at orientation about this class. So what this class will do for you, we looked at the data from last year. So for all our freshmen from fall 2018, students who took Academic Foundations were more likely to return for the next semester than those who didn't take it. Right? And that's something I think every student wants to do is get that opportunity to come back for semester 2. We also saw that students who took this class performed better in college algebra and chemistry 2045 than those who didn't take it. And that's important for a lot of students because those classes are really considered the jumping off point for a lot of majors, including business, engineering, and pre-med.
Wow, Shane, you covered a lot of important topics for students tonight. If students have more questions regarding anything you talked about, where should they go? Is there a web page, an email?
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways to get in touch with me. So our website is very easy, usf.edu/ECM for exploratory curriculum major. We also just launched our YouTube channel, so on YouTube it's just USF ECM again. And then of course my email is just my name, shanecombs@usf.edu. Omar, please hit me up.
Shane, well, thank you so much for being here tonight. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now it's time for some special announcements. On October 2nd, USF will be competing against UCF, UF, and FSU to see who can give out the most flu shots. Getting a flu shot helps USF fight the flu. We'll have free food, t-shirts, and lots of giveaways. So mark your calendars and make sure you attend this event in the Fall Bulls. Are you interested in living in a living learning community? Well, we still have spots left in our living learning communities, but trust me, they won't last forever. Explore what your options are at usf.edu/LLC to find the community that's best for you. Do you want to move in early and for free? If you said yes, then you should consider volunteering for Bull Hall. Bull Hall is a tradition here on campus. Every year on grand opening day, Bulls volunteer to assist other students with the move-in process. Learn more and apply today at usf.edu/housing. Well, that's just about all the time we have. But before we go, I want to remind you that USF Housing Live airs every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Join us for our next episode, We Are the Bulls, on Wednesday, June 5th. You can watch us at facebook.com/USF Housing, the USF Class of 2023 Facebook group, or in full 1080p high definition at youtube.com/USF Housing. USF Housing Live is produced by Housing and Residential Education at the University of South Florida in Tampa. Our motto is, best place to live, best place to work, best place to learn. A big thank you to tonight's guests, Brandy Cruz and Shane Combs, for joining me this evening. Thank you to our production crew, to you, our viewers, and of course, there's always just one last thing. Go Bulls! Good night, everyone.